And I'm even going to give this one a title. You know it's going to be a good one when I give it a title from the beginning. I'm calling it Tears of the Black Kingdom. The supernatural is real. Tears of the Black Kingdom. The supernatural is real. Are y'all ready for this? I am. This is Volothan Modulus Tautology, aka Chucky Biblical. And this might be the greatest game of all time. And most people want to argue from the door. That's a link. I don't like that top though. You see, I'm still at the beginning. And it's, I'm a gaming channel. I had to change up. But I'm going to drop some jewels because that's what hip-hop is. Hip-hop is the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we all need to achieve freedom, justice, and equality. We're a consciousness, community, creative culture that we're the children of the 1960 Civil Rights Movement. Right? So recently I brought up Emmett Till, who I believe was born in Chicago, Illinois. I can look up all that information. We'll look it up later on. And was unfortunately unalived in Mississippi in 1955. And his torture, death of this young man was nationalized. It's one of the first nationalized murders. We supposed to say unalive, but I really, I'm not doing this. Well, I'm doing this for subscribers. So hit the subscribe button, like, share, because I do need subscribers. I'm trying to get to 100. But I'm not playing the game anymore, and that's why I'm sharing Tim Black today. The Tim Black piece that I'm going to share is his best work to date. I'm being a little facetious. But Tim Black really put together a nice 15-minute video. I only share 7 minutes of it. So the 7 minutes that I share of it is going to be the first half. And I'll share links in the comment section to check out the second half. So make sure y'all check out the whole video to get the whole context of what he portrayed. And I mean, the whole video was genius. But I just don't want to share everybody else's video. I do want to point out who I trust as being a part of a black media network if we were to create such a thing. And Tim Black is at the top of that list. Lot to rap about, little time, because I'm trying to keep these under 30 minutes. And I'm trying not to scare away the normies, but I know I am. I know I'm going to scare them away because they're convinced that hip hop is supposed to be some ghetto thug, messed up in the head, drinking, sipping on syrup, and all this other nonsense. No. Hip means to know it's a form of intelligence. It means to be up to date and relevant. Hop is a form of movement. You can't just reserve a hop. You got to hop up and do it. Some quick lyrics from KRS-One, the teacher, Teacha. I mentioned Rakim as being number one. Big Daddy Kane. We'll get to them eventually. EPMD. You can't talk anything bad about them, especially with Reggie Noble, the great Reg on their side, right? And we'll talk more Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick, and other great, even Stetsasonic, LL Cool J, Run DMC, of course, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, the Sugar Hill Gang. See, I'm going back and forward and through time. Even Kumo D is one of the GOATs. But we'll get into the whole list and everything. And Kumo D is the one to mention because he wrote a list not too long ago. And he put Lauryn Hill as the number one MC of all time. And I kind of agree with it. I think Lauryn Hill is number one. Then maybe Rakim. But we will get into why the order that I have is the order that I have. Why I have the origin, which is the zero, as being like Def Jam or whatever. But we'll as opposed to Sugar Hill Gang. I mean Sugar Hill is the first I guess hip hop label. Um, Even though they did describe it as being disco. So we were still trying to figure out the genres and which genre is ultimately hip hop, because we went from house to and I'm getting a little bit off topic. Back to the main topic at hand has been Chicago, the mayor of Chicago, and was Emmett Till the causality of um, the culture, creating the culture. Let me put his mask hoodie on, and I look good like that, don't I? Should I wear those pants? These pants are a little more. Okay, you look good. You look good. Should I do more mountain climbing? That's good. I look good. Those other pants look better though. Yeah. I'll take a little bit off the defensive climb. And it looks like it's daybreak. So yeah, I want to be more like Zach Scott. I'm trying to get to 5 million subscribers. And what Zach Scott would do was just play the game, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Whoa, this boy just came out the blue. So, yeah, I'm a little too much for this guy. Oh. What I'm doing right now is called farming. Just collecting some items. Oh, another boy hit me. Now I gotta find this dude. I gotta get my vision back. I don't see the boy. Y'all see him? You putting arrows in the thing and everything. Should I eat some food? Let me eat some food. Yeah, I'm not playing as much as I should, so my skills ain't really there. But I'm gonna put some time in. But I'm just farming right now. Some glazed meat, I guess. That'll fill me up. I don't need no extra attributes or nothing like that. Oh, there you go. So yeah, this is called farming. I'll get some, I don't need no wood or nothing, so I ain't gonna cut no trees. But I'll get some fruit and vegetables and things of that nature, and But yeah, this is a very beautiful game. I'll get see some mushrooms right here. See, sky shrooms. You know, you collecting so that I can build better weapons and all the above and good stuff like that. So let me see if I can find my glasses here. And I gave y'all 10 minutes. So that's good. I gave y'all 10 minutes. Did I talk? Oh, I talked a little bit about the reason why I'm doing this Sharon Tim Black's video. Because on one hand, my case study that I'm trying to present is Eric Adams or Brandon Johnson. All right, Eric Adams is like the second black mayor of New York. Brandon Johnson is the third black mayor of Chicago. Um, so we've had a couple of them, and we'll get into all those histories and dates and all that at a later time. But I'm just trying to compare and contrast what is happening to Eric Adams and what is happening to Brandon Johnson without people getting all upset because of some conspiracy theory that they are calling um, racism in a form called white supremacy, and how we're doing it without complete explanation of what it means to be a philosophical ideology. And we'll get into these. I'll really lay it down with a presentation and everything at a later date. But right now, it's what I'm going to share is what the distraction is. Tim Black is going to break down the distraction. Like they want to distract us from that kind of political reasoning or analysis, right? Like what I want to present is a good, true, I like to call it tautological epistemology, but a good, true analysis of those two mayors, what they're going through, why Eric Adams lost his job being the mayor, right? And why Brandon Johnson is being he's not really being celebrated, but they're painting the picture that he's being celebrated for the ignorant word salad that coming out of his mouth. And I'm a deep dive into it, but I have to take my time because I understand that a lot of people in the black community really have an issue, and I don't want them to be really follow me, but I'll get into that. But I am trying to grow my station, so I am going to play. I'm gonna have more gameplay. I'm gonna have more presentation on what gaming is, what 8-bit versus 16-bit versus 32, 64-bit. We're going to get there, but I need everybody to have a little patience with me and just enjoy the ride, enjoy the program, and see if you get something out of what I'm presenting. Okay? So I'm gonna go to there like it's a commercial break, and then I'm gonna come back with a little bit more gameplay, and I mean there it is, and I feel as though that's a great job, and I hope you were entertained and educated, because I'm working on a thing called edutainment. And we'll see how it flows from there, right? So I'll be right back, and check it out. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, yada yada.
Right now that there is a debate about funding the government. I've been a little bit confused because Republicans, last time I checked, are in control of the House of Representatives.
You ain't
They're
confused.
in control of the Senate, and then the president signs the bill. Okay, but I've heard people suggest that Democrats somehow have the ability to shut the government down. So can you please educate the people on what's happening?
No, you are not confused.
Okay, all right.
You are a lawmaker. You understand how this works. And, Republicans don't know how to count. But here's the thing. When you're in a legislative body, you control everything. So if the government shuts down, it's on y'all.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Before we go any further, let me let you know the Tim Black Wolfpack is dedicated, committed, 10 toes down to reporting the truth, unbiased, and not working for any political party. If that sounds good to you, go to jointimblack.com, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. There are a couple videos put out because Stephen A. called out Jasmine Crockett.
When I point to a Jasmine Crockett, it's because here's what I know. All I ever hear her doing is going off.
And I did a response or reaction to that and kind of covered Stephen A. Smith and the Native Pod of Andrew Gillum Angela Rye and Tiffany Cross, including Bakari Sellers as their special guests as they discussed, Stephen A. They were complaining that people were going in on Jasmine Crockett. They framed it like people that criticize Jasmine Crockett are sellouts, black people. Well, any black people that criticize Jasmine Crockett are coons or sellouts or charlatans or grifters, or they hate their mother, they have a problem with black women, some derivative of that. And all it is gaslighting to defend their party. They don't care about black women in general. Like if you were calling out Winsome Sears, who's running for governor in Virginia, they wouldn't give a shit. If you call out Stacey Dash, fine. Omarosa, please do it louder. They wouldn't give a shit. They only care because Jasmine Crockett is a Democrat. It's not like they want to save all black women on the planet, because if they did, they probably wouldn't be Democratic operatives. You understand what I'm saying? None of them are politicians, but they all defend the Democratic Party as if they're within the party, as if they are. That's because they all have gotten their money from the Democratic Party. And it was all types of offensive, man. Listen to these people. Gaslight. And Stephen A. is a very much imperfect person to have to even be a part of this conversation, because yes, I believe Stephen A. Smith is a humongous hypocrite, is a skinflint. He's a carpetbagging skinflint in a lot of ways. But that's not because he's calling out Jasmine Crockett. It's because every issue, he's on both sides of the issue, depending on the way the wind blows. In whatever way, it appears to me, whatever's most popular is the direction that Stephen A. is going to go. He's not going to lead thought. He just follows wherever the momentum is, whatever is advantageous. That's how I see Stephen A. So I'm not defending Stephen A. Smith. I'm defending black Americans who have a problem with shit like this clip we just saw. Because this clip we just saw is a perfect example of what I'm talking about with Democrats.
But I've heard people suggest that Democrats somehow have the ability to shut the government down. So can you please educate the people on what's happening?
No, you are not confused.
Okay.
Elitists and liars and hypocrites. Jasmine Crockett and this guy, this goofy dude on this show we just saw, they were all lying. They know damn well anytime in America, when we have shutdowns of the government, the party that will not sign the continuing resolution is the person stonewalling progress. They're the ones that are not letting the budget continue. They're the ones that are ending the funding. They're pausing the funding, which results in the government shutdown. The Democrats did that. But instead of saying, yeah, we stopped it because we feel this way for this issue and we're willing to stand on business, instead they lie to everyone. They lie to all these people. Then they tell these people that they're lying, that you don't know enough, that you're stupid, you don't know how government works. Jasmine Crockett is a liar and a hypocrite. It takes 60 votes. If Republicans did not need the Democrats to get the continuing resolution to continue, which would leave the government open, the government would be open right now. It's the Democrats who have decided not to allow the government to stay open. But it's bigger than that. This is about gaslighting, lying, and them using the cheat code against black Americans. And I've seen some people fall for it in my comment section. Just because someone is black does not mean that they are right. It does not mean they deserve anything from us other than ridicule. Let me tell you something. The most dangerous thing to black people in America right now are black people working for the other team. When I say the other team, that's not for us. That does not mean if they're not Democrats. You have it fooled. You think we have a party. Working class people don't have a party in this country. And unless you got a trust fund, you're a working person. Just because you see some black people over there in the Democratic Party does not mean that's your party. And if someone criticizes Jasmine Crockett, she can take it. She's a grown-ass woman in her mid-40s. She's a lawyer. She's a practicing attorney, a grown-up. Stop coming to defend politicians. They're supposed to defend us. They're supposed to fight for us. We're not supposed to fight for them. Stop it! Stop it! Rise up! Wise up and rise up. They sit up here with straight faces and said, we didn't shut the government down when they damn sure shut it down. My son ain't gonna like this, but it's okay. I clothe him, I feed him, I provide shelter. You'll be okay.
Classic, right? Classic, classic, classic. Let me I was running around collecting arrows, all those arrows the bug was shooting at me. So I got 10 more minutes until, you know what I mean? So I guess I'm doing some overtime. Let me see if I can get the music back on a little higher or whatever. Working on my volumes and sound. That would be with me calling my horse. I don't know how loud that came out when I click this button right here though. Right. Now it should come out a little better. And I'm doing sound checks and all that. We'll see how it's, you know, comes out. So let me what weapon? So I'm using a boomerang, I guess. Let's use that. Baseball bat. 1, 2, 3, the crew is called BDP. And if you want to go to the tip top, stop the violence in hip hop. Why-oh. But yeah, we way up in the sky. And make sure, great video. Like I said, he has another like 7 minutes where he talks about a story with his son. And I mean, that's what it's about, the fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of man. I mean, period. Like, he was on point with that story too. So, I ain't mean to waste an arrow. And I jump off the side like I normally do to show y'all we in the sky. Now how do I don't want to accelerate. So yeah, this is I mean, and then there's a deep underground realm too. So you skydive and everything on this game, right? Beautiful game. Breath of the Wild, you can't do this. Some people like it. I'm trying to judge, make sure I don't die. Uh-oh. I don't feel like fighting yet. I ain't mean to land right next to a battle. Are they gonna come? So when they get the question mark, they'll turn back around. I might battle them. I ain't got time for the battle. So like I was saying, I just went to farm for now, and then I'll be back with more gameplay and that nature. But I mean, did you understand what I'm saying? With great video. They use a lot of what they use Jasmine Crockett, for example. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to talk bad about Jasmine Crockett. I don't want to talk bad about what is her name? I'm trying to think of her name. Candace Owens. And it's people get like, well, why don't you want to talk bad about Candace Owens? Is it like because I'm a man? I don't talk bad about other men's wives. That's not manly. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't talk about Jasmine Crockett bad because she's, like Stephen A. just hit the, she's a 40-year-old, yada, yada. And I listen, Steve, at the same time, I'm not saying she's a child. She claims she doesn't have a man. So now I have to question her head, right? If she's saying that she doesn't have a man, then the Messiah should be her Lord. You see what I'm saying? Like, if she's, but she might, I don't know if she's Christian. Like, if she was Christian. If she was Muslim, then it would be, Muhammad or her husband according to Christian philosophy, right? Like, if we were to analyze the New Testaments, that's what that's how the hierarchy is supposed to be. And that's where I get into a lot of trouble, because it's, the Lord is my shepherd, right? I ain't got a, I ain't got a problem with that. And then when I get around other Christians, and you have an issue of Charlie Kirk. Like, I don't know Charlie Kirk. You know what I'm saying? And I hear him, but when I seen his videos, he was portraying himself as being a person, a liberal, but he was claiming that he was conservative, and he was helping ex-drug addicts that used to be LGBTQ convert to Christianity. And it's you're being a little hypocritical, but he's no longer with us, so I can reason why I would say that. And I don't want to, disrespect him, because, but that one video that I saw when he did it, and the guy was, black, it was like, that's why I had to call BS on the presentation. It's like, if there was a picture of Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, and Charlie Kirk, and it's like, see, that right there is kind of like, because if those are the three, martyrs, but that's not what they presented. They presented Martin Luther King with them, and it's like, now you're being really hypocritical, and then I'm the one that's injecting race into it by complaining about Martin Luther King being, and that's where the hypocrisy of liberals disguised as conservatives or Republicans is like, I can see through your falseness, and can explain it and break it down to, very last compound or molecule or whatever scientific methodology we use to explain the logic of it. Like, now you can't, right? It's like, you can't go Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, Charlie Kirk, and I say that's white on white. Those were all white on white crimes, and you can't go, well, are you making it about race, right? Like, that's what Whoopi Goldberg went through. Soon as Whoopi said, the Jews and the Germans, and it wasn't about race, and she became the hypocrite, and it was like, actually she's technically in, but then anybody that talked about it, got Rainey out, became hypocrites, right? Or what the extremists would point out, because it's not really the Jews, it's the extremists that's trying to talk for the Jews, going, he's anti-Semitic, right? The Jews didn't claim any anti-Semitism, right? That's the same thing going on with the LGBT. You got extremists that's, I'm not that, but, and that's what we were noticing as foundational Black Americans, and that's kind of what's happening now with us when it comes to these tethers, these Africans that's, I'll speak for you. It's like, I don't need you to speak for me. Like, that's what we're saying. So there's a lot of trying to speak for foundational Black Americans, and it's like, dude, I ain't asked you to speak for us. And then the Democrats are uplifting them as being the heads of the culture, when we know the truth. And then they're doing it with, like, say, Busta Rhymes. It's like Busta Rhymes ain't really do that. So now they want us to fight Busta Rhymes. It's like, nah, I can't disrespect Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes is he's the leaders of the new school. I'm thinking that I'm gonna put them at number 6 or 7 with Tribe Called Quest, because my next to the 10th spot is Wu-Tang. Like, everybody's Wu-Tang, right? And they're gonna end the show. You gotta end the show with Wu-Tang kinda. So it's come on. Oh, y'all want to be like that, huh? Now I was just chilling, minding my business, right? And then you just had to, whoa, what's wrong with you? Who you think you are? The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at... Freaks come out. Shout out to Houdini. But there it is. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. I hope I explained that well enough and didn't... I might have lost some people because it's, you know, he's one of those radicals, and he's talking about religion and politics and science and listen, I'm just sharing the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Like, this is how I see it, and hence we don't care about Stephen A. Smith. Like, he's a troll. He's always been a troll. He's a king troll. He's an ESPN troll. So he's using his troll, like, he's trying to be like 50 Cent. He's trying to troll us into, you know, not voting for him for president, but politically, to listen to him politically, and he's a moron when it comes to politics, you know? And I'm not saying of course I'm not saying as an economic guru, right? It's like, what is he a guru in is more of the question. He's not hip hop. He's not a baby boomer. I think he's a Gen Xer, but he's like one of those 63, 60, like that. That's the other argument that we're going, when does baby boom? No, baby boomer ends at 59. Generation X starts at 60 to 1979. When you do it that way, then 1980 to 1999, that's Generation Y. We want to call them millennials, but anybody that passed on to 2000 beyond is actually a millennial, because you saw the other side of the whatever prophecy, whatever, right? On what that number means, because year 0 is the year of, well, we know the Messiah, or might have been born 6 years prior, 6 years after. We'll get into all those. Those are just schematics, but we're just going to say from year 0, the birth, to 2000, and now we're in 2025, the year of our Lord. Yes, it's based on Roman, you know, whatever, but we're getting all that, and but what I'm really trying to convey, and then I'm gonna end it on this note, is that's the distraction. I'm going to share some DeAndre, who's going to talk about that same subject again, but I'm going to share some of the other mayor, because I want to stay focused on the mayor aspect of it, because they're using a lot of these black quote-unquote caucus leaders, and they're saying some real ignorant stuff when what we need them to do is to focus. We need them in, all these lawyers, these black lawyers, we need you in the courtrooms putting down arguments defending foundational black Americans. We need you to help us with defense, being a defense lawyer, more so than being the prosecutor. One God, our Father, art of time, hip-hop, life, love, oneness. God is love, hip-hop is life, time is holy. Money is nothing more than that fourth dimensional illusion that really doesn't exist, because hip-hop is the art of making the most out of life. 1. God is understood. Harmony, happiness, and peace to you all.